Hi guys, welcome back to Senegalese Twisted. Today I'm back again with another review for Maîtresse d'un homme marié. I'm going to talk about episode 18 and we're just going to jump right into it. The scene continues right where we left off in episode 17, and Ben and Tahirou 2.0 are arguing in the garden, and at one point Dalanda comes in and she breaks them apart. Both Tahirou 2.0 and Ben are a bit surprised that she is still awake. I think that Ben is just, cursing out Tahirou, and Tahirou as well has this face of, I almost got caught. And I think that then they all go inside. Next, there's a scene with Lalla and Cher. Lalla is telling Cher that, oh, you really came early today. The kids, they already went to school. And Cher tells her that, you know what, I did not come for the kids, I actually came for you. Of course, Lalla is surprised because she's like, oh, bajama, which means, oh, is everything all right? And Cher is, reassuring her, telling her that, you know what, we are no enemies, we're no adversaries either. What I want for us is to be at peace. He adds to that their kids is all they have and they will never have something better than their kids. However, they have been put through a lot of tension, the kids, especially Noura, because she is growing and she is, starting to get aware of things and her surroundings and things that are happening. So he is basically pleading Lalla to, bury the swords and have, a ceasefire. So Lalla's response is to actually thank Cher for coming to her and bringing up this, mature conversation. She's even telling him that, she has always dreamt about this moment, that they would actually, have the peace and both be mature enough to come back together for the sake of the kids. She expresses that, you are their dad and there's nothing that can, remove that. She's also saying that, both of them, Cher and Lalla, have to make compromises because they should not forget that the kids did not ask to be born. So they should not suffer for them fighting. And if that's what he doesn't want, then she will do everything in her power to help him with that. And then she moves on and asks him if he wants breakfast. But Cher knows Lalla too well because he tells her that no, because I know your breakfast is not like something you put on the table and it's done. You will be working for ages. And I don't actually have time, but we can do it another time. And Lalla wants to compromise because she's like, oh, what about if I invite you for dinner? Eventually, he does agree to dinner and he compliments her outfit and how she looks. So it looks like these two are not necessarily back together, but on their way to peace. Then there's the remarkable scene where we see Tahirou 2.0 actually working as a doctor. And in this scene you see that he's examining a little boy, and the mother is really anxious and she wants to know what's up. He tells her that the son actually has a tumor, and the woman is actually really scared because she does not want him to undergo an operation. And Tahirou is really reassuring her that they have dealt with these types of tumors before and they know what they're doing, and before undergoing the operation there will be, tests. So I don't know why they put in this scene, but Tahirou 2.0 actually works. Next, you see that Dalanda is in this lovely home and she's having breakfast by herself. Ben comes in and she's like, oh, you have been up really early. And I think that Dalanda even says that the twins are still asleep, meaning that she woke up really early to have breakfast. And Ben can sense that there's something wrong, and she even remarks to Dalanda that she can see on her face that she has not slept. Of course, Dalanda wants to, tease Ben and tell her that, you know what, we need to find you a husband. And Ben is like, well, you know, some husbands, they take the elevator. I think mine took the stairs. Same sis. She also says that Dalanda should not be pressed, but she also wants to know, like, okay, but where's Tahirou? And Dalanda's like, you know what, I'll call him. And she calls him. You know what, tonight I will make your favorite meal and we can eat as a family. Tahirou 2.0 is like, you know what, nothing would make me more happy than that, but tonight I have an operation. I will be home late. Don't wait up for me. Dalanda's like, well, you don't have to explain yourself. Then there's a scene where Lala is at this breakfast place and she's ordering breakfast, and the judge who, you know, presided over their case actually sees her and comes to talk to her. The judge is actually telling Lala that he was really impressed by her because she only asked for like 5,000 sefa, and he also expresses to her that if you would have asked for 5 million, I would have granted him or ordered him to give you that. Of course, Lala is like laughing and she's like, what was your name again? He tells her his name and she's like, you know what, me and Sheikh, we did not come together because of money, nor did we come together because of materials. I am actually a very hard worker, and the story of me and Sheikh is actually based on love. However, it ended badly. However, life goes on. Then the judge says something to me that was really weird because he's like, you know what, I'm actually divorced and I would have wanted to be in Sheikh's shoes. Lala is of course like, well, you know, divorce is not something final. Of course, I cannot say that I saw it coming. However, you just have to manage it. And then it's like, yeah, don't worry about it. And then they exchange cards. And I thought it was really weird because why would a judge hit on you? Isn't there like a code isn't that unethical? I can't. I think that Marodi may see like an alleyway that they can go, but I'm just telling them, please don't go there because it won't be cool. Then we move on to our favorite couple, Mère Diagne and Pa Gay, and this time they are babysitting Bebe Malik and Amina, and Mère Diagne is expressing how worried she is about Biram, but mostly because of Jalika, because she found out that Biram got her and the kids an apartment. I think that she really thinks that Jalika is out here trying to trap Biram like they weren't married. Like you can trap a womanizer who cannot let any woman walk past freely. Pa Gay is really, you know, trying to assure her that that is not what is happening. And what is really remarkable about this scene is that Mère Diagne is actually talking really bad about Jalika in front of her kids. And I would not be surprised if Amina is going to tell her mom about how Biram's mom, her grandmother, actually talked really bad about her. Then there's a scene with Amidou, Regina, and Dalanda, and they are actually just talking about the case and how it was good news that Mustafa actually got a court date. However, Regina is like, well, we should not celebrate too early because the judge, or they can still plead that he actually helped a fugitive. Then they ask Dalanda her opinion, but Dalanda is so far in her thoughts that she does not even know what they're talking about. And Amidou's telling her that, you know what, I already told Regina this before and I'm going to tell you. But I need you guys to be on this case with everything you got, because I cannot be working my ass off on this case and you guys just checking in when you want to check in. But of course Dalanda reassures him and tells him that, you know what, no, I told you guys that I would be here and I will be here. Then we're back with Mère Diagne, Pa Gay, and the cousins Biram and Amsa, and Pa Gay is just telling Amsa that this food is really delicious, and of course Amsa is like, well, is this the only time the food is delicious? And it's so funny because their relationship is really cute. Mère Diagne is even, you know, putting some salt in there because she's like, you see, Biram is even eating everything. He's eating this up. And Biram is like, no ma, I'm just really hungry, that's all. But Amsa cannot leave him alone, and she's like, you know what, you can just agree with the rest of us that this food is just really delicious. And then he does. Page, of course, is really satisfied because he thinks his magic matchmaking Cupido thing actually worked. And afterwards, Amsa's like, well, if you guys finish, I will clean up the table. And Biram is like, no, I'll do it. And she's like, no, that's okay, just sit down. And he's like insisting, and they walk out together. Mère Diagne is like, ooh, I'm actually confused about all this. And Page is like, no, I told you to trust me. And afterwards, they actually sing together. Then we are with Amidou in the car, and Regina is calling him and telling him that she actually got back from Lalle and their team, and that there's someone, a woman that reached out, and that she wants Amidou to go there immediately this night because it is really important. So he just turns around and he goes. Then Dalanda is actually calling Tahirou at work, and she's telling the receptionist that she really wants to surprise her husband, so she needs his schedule of the day. And the woman is like, he finishes at 5. And of course, Dalanda knows what she needs to know. Then you see that she's actually posting outside of his work. And then you have flashbacks. And one of the flashbacks is the end of the last episode, where you can see Tahirou 2.0 and Ben actually, you know, arguing from the balcony. And in that scene, he actually says to Ben that I will wait until she has the baby, and I actually have the right to 4 wives. After the flashback, you actually see that Tahirou 2.0 comes out of the office building, gets into his car, and Dalanda follows him. Also, they literally have the same car. Then you see that Tahirou is entering a house. Jalika is actually on the phone, and you see that Tahirou is in front of her. And she opens the door and she wants to know who gave her address to Tahirou and what he is doing there. And he just, you know, tattletales because he tells that it's mommy who told him, and he just wants 10 minutes of her time to explain. However, Jalika only grants him 5. Then they sit down. Jalika tells him right away that if you came here for apologizing or to say that you are having regrets, please stop talking because I don't have any regrets separating from you. Tahirou 2.0 tells her that, you know what, I did not come here to fight with you. Please let us bury our arms, and I just came here to talk to you. I did a lot of talking with my pillow, which in Wolof just is an expression that you have done a lot of thinking. You slept on it. He tells her that he cannot live without her, that he loves her, and that he is ready to take all his responsibilities when it comes to, you know, taking her on as a second wife. I will tell everybody. Also, polygamy is not a crime. It is if you signed monogamy, son. Of course, he continues and is like, well, I want you, and polygamy is not a crime, and I'm not wrong. Of course, he's like, just tell me whatever you want me to do and I'll do it. He suggests that he can take another apartment for her and the kids. And he actually says, our kids, I ask you one last time, let me be the father you want me to be for the kids and the husband for you. Of course, Jalika's like, our kids? I was crazy, you know, listening to all your promises and, you know, following you. If any of it was true, you would have done this already. This is not a game of ping pong. I have already understood that Dalanda and the twins are your only family. When we got married, I actually thought that me and my kids would have become a part of your family too. But no, I understand that that cannot be possible. Also, we don't need you. We are at peace. All I ask is that you leave me alone. Of course, Tahirou 2.0 is like, don't say that, Jalika. And Jalika comes in with the magic words, Maïma samabat, give me my divorce. Tahirou 2.0 basically begs that he loves her, that she cannot do that she should choose what she wants, and that he will choose her. She's like, Khanate, only today. And at that moment, Dalanda walks in. And she screams, 15 years of marriage and you throw it away like this? Imbecile. Of course, Tahirou is in shock and the only thing that comes out of his mouth is like, da. And she tells him to STFU and to never say her name again. Jalika's like, please, my kids are asleep. Don't wake them up. But she also sees it as an opportunity because she tells Tahirou, you know what, Tahirou? All this stuff you were talking about, now you can prove it. Take your responsibility and make your choice. However, the screen turned black and I thought that was the end of the episode. But afterwards, it actually continues. Tahirou 2.0 actually tells Dalanda that he did marry Jalika and that he is ready to take responsibility of their relationship marriage. This is where Dalanda slaps the life out of him. But at the same time, Dalanda is bleeding and both Jalika and Tahirou 2.0 are screaming at her, but she just faints in Tahirou's arms. And instead of calling 911, Jalika gets a cup of water and sprays it on her. That was the end of episode 18 of Maîtresse d'un homme marié. A lot has been happening, but the most remarkable thing for me was Tahirou 2.0 because he is full of shit. First of all, now he's going to call Jalika's kids our children. That is so suspicious. Now he wants to get an apartment with her. It's just a real mess. The remarkable thing about this is it's only women that are suffering because now Dalanda is basically bleeding to death. What does Tahirou get? When are women going to choose for themselves? That's what I want to know. But I am curious as to how this is going to continue in the next episode. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on Saturday.